This room is so small. I mean, it's ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is, by request, is make a chest of drawers here that's going to fit just inside of here, 31.5 inches or whatever it is, I'll tell you later, and come out 17 something inches. And this is a table I made many years ago for a very special place, and it's too big, so I got to redo this one too. So this one's going to go here, because see how open it is at the bottom? So that'll sit right here and right over that, and will not impede the airflow for the forced air system. So that'll be nice. And then put some flowers there, and maybe it'll distract from how dirty the windows are. But I'm not, who cares about that? I really want to put a window in over here, but I've kind of been thwarted on that idea. I've been cleared. I've been saying I can't. It's a typical, okay, females, no means yes, yes means no, and yes and no mean maybe. So I got the yes and no means maybe on a window back here. I'd love to put one in. There's nothing there. But anyway, we got the Nighthawks up there, and we got the summit right there. So I'm going to have to make another table here, a little smaller. I'm going to bring it down and repurpose this. So yep, I made this all from scratch. And you can too. Too can. It's not hard to do. So I've already drawn up the plans. And oh, dinner smells good. Okay, good. Okay. They're all over here. Can you just trust me on this for now? Let's just turn that lamp on right there. Okay, that's not much of a lamp, but that's all we got. So I've drawn this chest of drawers, 31.5, 17.5 deep, 48 inches tall, and there'll be more on this later. I already went today and got all the lumber. And then there's the little table I'm going to make on the side. So it's all there. It's all ready to go. So we're going to start on this tomorrow. I just want to give an overview of why I'm building this furniture. You can make it out of whatever you want to make it out of. White pine, oak, whatever you can afford. But it's rather complicated, and you got to have the tools, but just, you can do it. You can do it. Maybe better than I can. So just remember that. Hopefully I can service the old 2305 today. That'd be nice. It's mid-October. So this is going to be my setup area to build this chest of drawers. And I got some thin plywood and some thicker plywood to build the drawers with. I think that'll be just fine. I got all this stock lumber here, 1x8. This is just what they call white wood. And we're going to make the frame. We're going to set it here. I got to bring all my clamps over here. But I'm going to open this door. We're going to have a nice wide berth right here. Let me put some stuff away. And it's always good. I try to keep everything picked up, but sometimes can be hard. So we'll get to work on this. Let's get this out. I got to get to the table saw. I got to bring the chop saw over here. So I have to move the Harley a little bit. That's okay. I probably need to do that anyway. She's a little bit in the way. So I need to bring the Harley keys down here to get her to move. She's always locked up. So the batteries are charging on the TR4 and the Bonneville, because I got to move those out to get the 2305 on the lift. So let's do that. Let's just keep plugging through the day. It's nice and cool. It's going to be cooling off. It's not even 12:30 yet, so how nice. What a fun day. All the way around. Now I realize that you just can't go into this and just sort of start cold. You could, but it'd take thousands of dollars. I understand it takes tools. There's a big air compressor up there. There's the green hose for it. There's my radial not radial arm saw, but power miter saw, which is fairly accurate. Spider blade helps. I gotta batten down these hatches here. I gotta get it down here. So squares, speed squares, sanding paper, feet, tape measures, or get a fresh thing of glue because I got the biscuit joiner. Let me go get my biscuit joiner and I'll just carry that with so I'll remember to do it. Oh no, the theme song from the big country. Ugh. So I still got some of them, but I have this thing. Now see, I know, I have a lifetime of tools here. I had a lifetime of tools by the time I was 25. And so I just believe in the tools. Blades, the bits, the tools. So there's my biscuit joiner. There's all kind of things on how to use this. So there's number 10s is what I'm going to be using. Use them up first. Always use fresh, plain old glue because these expand inside the joint and that's what gives it strength. I've got the drawer hardware, which I'm not going to need for a while. Let's put it where I'll know where it is. That's the other thing. Just put stuff on the way outdoor because you see it all the time. You know where the heck it is. So fresh glue. Got a bunch of fresh sandpaper. Got sanding blocks. I've got a pneumatic sander if I need it. I don't think I will very much. I got a brad nailer. I got to go get my. Now let's go up there and look at that. I got my drawer slides. Now you can get the bottom or side kind. But I of course have Randy Dameron. Whatever happened to that guy? He was a big wheel where I used to work, and then I saw him working at Home Depot after he got the axe. So anyway, I got tons and tons of clamps over here. So let's get them out. One of the world's worst levels. Man, that sure is pretty, but it's terrible. It lacks that one certain characteristic you need in a level. It's not level. That one there's not too bad. That Klein one I bought that is really nice. So I've got all kind of clamps. There's Big Bessie. So let's get her back there. And I'm just going to carry all my clamps back there and just get it over with. And just let's do that right now. Okay, there's the start. Let me just go get the rest of them. I meant to, and I got a phone call, got distracted. Let me go get the rest of what I think I need here, because I'm getting ready to make the first cut for the frame. So that'll be, the first cut is the deepest. Don't ever listen to that song, because it just goes on and on and on. So repetitive. So depressing. Alright, now most everybody's at the party, y'all. Everybody's here. There's some little ones up there, but I won't be able to use those. So we're 31 wide, 17.5 inches deep, and 48 more or less tall. So we're going to start with this outer frame. So you got to take into consideration the 3/4 of an inch, you know, your kerf cuts, and everything else. So I'm going to make the header piece. That'll be 3 inches wide by 31.5. So let's get our first piece and check it over for a framing piece. See, there's a knot right there, but I got clear sailing on knots on this piece. That one doesn't even transfer to the other side. So this is a good start, because knots, although tough, they are a weak point. And kind of regret we didn't get any oak, because I like the smell of oak when it cuts. It smells like popcorn. It's really, really nice. So our first, I think, although broken, that still works pretty good. We're going to go to 31.5 pieces. I need 2. So we're gonna start with across here first, 31.5. And then I'm going to cut my 3 and my 4, which would be 7, obviously. Oh, and have yourself one of these. Get yourself the big heavy-duty micrometer. Just helps you measure things a little bit more accurately. So I got 31.5 mark right there. I'm not going to do this a whole lot to show people exactly what's going on. But all I got to do, because I have a laser on my, well, wish I'd have marked that. Okay, well that's good enough. We're gonna go right here. And so when I carry this over to the saw here, this Delta has a laser beam that's pretty accurate, and you can just see it on my fingers there. And I'm going to cut that first, and I've really got 31 and maybe 3/4, but you got to kind of, when you do woodworking, it's going to expand and contract on you, not that much, but enough. And be sure and have you a big boatload of these. I got a big boatload of these over there. So sharpen on both ends, so whenever you pull it out, you don't have to flip it around. Just kind of a nice thing not to annoy you. So let's go cut this one, and you just sit right here just a second. I'll be right back. It won't take long. And this table's kind of funny. I don't know if I told you about this table, but when I lived in another place, this was a kitchen island. They quoted me like $4,000 for a kitchen island, and I found this at Scratch and Dent at a box store for like $30. But eventually it did end up being another workstation. Okay, so I'm going to cut it a little bit fat, which I tend to do. Trust the laser beam, but also trust that and I got multiple tape measures. So tell you what we're going to do first, though. I kind of like that factory in. It's okay. Like I say, this is a utilitarian piece. So we got 31 and a half. So when I made this table, don't need to carry them in your pocket. You've got a bunch of them. I made these little catches right here, and this is screwed down. So which makes it real nice. Let me go get all my PPE here. So, and boy, I'm in love with these DeWalt, not a sponsor, glasses. They're optically sound, so you don't get that little queasy, dizzy feeling from cheap headgear, eyeglasses, whatever they are. These. I know I'm probably making this a little super detailed, but somebody may be watching this that's never done this before. But once you get your headgear, always take your finger, no matter if it's inside or out, and make sure there's no rhinoceroses in there or anything like that. And there's not a stink bug or a spider or something like that. It's one of my big fears is something being in there. And get these kind. These are great. The other kind I have, like the 95s or whatever they are for cutting grass. These are better. And these are so soft. They're just so nice. You almost forget you got them on sometime. What? It's a joke in there sometime. Somehow. Sometime, somehow, whatever. Okay, I gotta have both hands on this. I don't want anything hitting anything. But I just thought you'd want to see the first cut. Wind's coming up a little bit. It's okay. So you might wonder why I picked 4 down here and 3 up there. It's because all this is a 1x8x8. It's really only 7 1/4, something over there. I'm going to close that door. So I'm going to measure this, and the kerf will take care of that. I don't care on this particular part. Okay, the door closed by itself. I don't really care on this part how accurate it is, because the drawers will be custom made and everything like that. Now, like I say, this is going to be a multi part video. So this is where I'm going to go. So I got 7 1/4. So I'm going to cut my when I cut my 4-piece right here. And I'm going to give it just a little touch more, like a 32nd. Okay, so there's 4 and like a 32nd. Oh, why did you do that? Touchy old camera. Okay, so we're going to go back a little bit. And I'll tell you another little secret. When you do this, just go back and pump it a couple of times, and it'll centralize it so you get a nice straight cut. Okay? And all right, I'm all set. Don't let that fall down anywhere. I need kind of a workbench, don't I? Well, I can't use that. I know where it is. All right, so when I cut the 4 one, the 3 one will happen automatically. See what I mean? Make sure your blade doesn't come up too high, because that lessens your chance of getting hooked on it, okay? Just high enough to clear right on the blade, the carbides, okay? So, let's go at it this way. Okay, I don't see anything there that's going to be, I think I'd rather have that knot on the 4. So we're going to crank this up. Okay, just pretend you're seeing that cut. Okay, gang, let's see. Hang on. All right, so we've got one that's like 4 1/32 and like 3 1/32. So that's just fine. So there's our base and our top of this frame you're about to see go together. Sweep your floor off. Make sure you got enough room. Well, I say that and then stuff blows everywhere. So I usually assemble on the floor. Treat every piece of wood like it's a piece of finished wood, because it might be. So I'll have to sweep this off again. So there you go. There's your base of the face frame and your top of the face frame. Okay, see, treat them nicely. So now I need 3 31.5 inch 2-inch sections. So I'll probably make them a little bit more to eat up a piece of wood. So here's my piece of wood. So once again, I think I want those on the inside. So we're not going to do those. We're going to do these. So I don't want to do the inside ones. I'm going to do the outside ones. So I'm trying to think this along and explain it to you as I go. So we're going to do that. So what we do here is we measure now what this is, because it's going to be different because we lost some from the blade width. So now we need to figure out what our side pieces are. See, now they're going to be on the inside right here. Okay, so we need to take 48 inches. I'm going to go a little less than that, 47.5, because of kerf and all that stuff. So we're going to figure these, and I'll show you what I come up with. So we're going to do a little thing, 47 3/4, which is right here, and we're going to leave the lead. We might take a little bit of the lead, but that's what that's called when you do that. It's fine carpentry, but you know what I mean. So once you get that, you go over here and you measure this. And this is 7 3/16. So we're going to take away 7 1/4 just to make it easy on ourselves. So now we can take away from there. So 7 3/4 or 7 1/4. And that is right here. So now you got 7 1/4, a little bit less, and so you take this, you get 47. It's going to leave that there, and we're going to back up to here. So we're not going to cut right here, and we're going to cut right here, and that just ends up being right about at 40.5. So in case you're keeping a rating service diary, so that's what this run is going to be here. I need 2 of them. So we're going to cut this, and we're going to cut this in half, long ways with the table saw. Okay, got it? I know it's clear as mud, but you'll see it. You'll see it come together. Just stick with me, okay? All right, boys. All right, let's just put that there. So what I do in a situation like this is around 3 inches there, from here to here. Just like I say, just do that a couple of times. So cut this side here and then flip over and do the other side, okay? And then I'll tell you something interesting in just a second. Now let's see, we got a pretty good knot there, but it doesn't go all the way through. So, okay. Just keep your eyes on the prize there. And that end there's kind of crummy. What am I going to do? Well, we're going to just cut. We're going to just go for it. Got so many knots right there. Does that one go through? A little tiny bit. This one here, this one doesn't. I think it'd be okay. Let's just go for it. Okay, so I've only used one 1x8x8, and this is what I've got left over. So I've cut everything from the same stock. So here we go. Here's the face of the cabinet, okay? So it should be somewhere around 47.5 and all that stuff. So we're going to be getting the biscuit joiner out here pretty soon. I swept off a little bit because the dust from the table saw is just kicking it right back in here again. So let's see where we are with Fat Max here. It should be right at 47.5, and I'm right there on it. Okay, 47.5 and plus about a 32nd. So now remember, you square. Once I get it together, you know, you square from corner to opposite corner. So, all right. So now we can measure and do our 3 internal pieces. What's wrong with you? It was a gift from a long time ago from doing a thing. So now I can measure what my center pieces, my 3 2-inch pieces are going to be. So what is this? This could be one of them. Let's see. Here's that tape measure. So if that's true, yeah, that's good enough for me not to waste this piece. Okay, so now all I got to do is get the length on it. So the way I'm going to do this is you just pull this in, make sure your table saw is completely off there. And these don't have to be perfect because you're going to custom make the drawers. Okay. Sounds like Carlos Santana. Kind of a weepy guitar stuff. Okay. All right. Well, let's get the measurement on these because you can tell that's going to be a little long. So the way I do this is I'm going to get this and then measure from here to here. Now I'm for not always using a tape measure. So you get this end square here, you put both of these pieces from both ends together, and then you can put the piece that you want to use as a runner right here, and then you can cut that right there. Now this time we're going to do what they say. We're going to take the lid, okay? Take it out this time. So, all right, once again, you'll get the hang of this after a while. Okay, you can put a clamp on that if you feel like it. It shouldn't work around the blade, but just remember I told you not to do that. See, she's just about a smidgen too much. So here's the way I do that. I pull the blade down and I hold it kind of firmly against there, and when you come up you'll nip a little bit of that off, and just do that a couple times and you'll get it very, very precise. And I would say with pine you want to be as precise as you can be with any lumber, but because this stuff moves around so much, you want to just be as precise as you can. So I'm just going to nip off a little bit and get that square, make 2 more. That's my waste just from one piece. So I might be able to use that on something else, but all of these cuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts are just from one piece of 1x8x8. stick. You hear me? Alright, so look at that. That's pretty good. Now what you can do now, if you felt like it, and I don't feel like it because I don't feel like it's enough. I think I'm getting a false reading from, yeah, I am. Okay, so these are my 3 centers. Okay. Okay, that's the layout right there. I'll give you all the dimensions after I go get a new battery. Okay, so it took a couple of little slices, bundle them together, just keep cutting them, you'll have them. Okay, hang on just a second. We'll be right back. Battery's going to go out. Exhausted.